know this has been on your mind, a lot of what's going on with our ICE agents.
Yeah, to me, it's something that's bigger than just the ICE agents, okay? That seems to be the talking point now, what's really happening. This is a pattern with the left. They take to the media, they take to the violence, they take to these crazy groups, all these paid protesters, and they create a narrative that puts people's lives in danger. You know, there are 6 Trump officials living on military compounds right now because they're scared for themselves and their families. Think about that. That one thing, that they don't feel comfortable living in their own homes or anywhere else. They had to go to military compounds to feel safe. Now you've got death threats up 8,000% for ICE. They're challenging them with, they're wearing masks, they're doing all these things, while at the same time, they're attacking them, they're accosting them, they're threatening them, they're putting bounties on them. And all of those things are happening because of the left, the way the left has talked about this thing. It's pretty obvious. I think we all see this as Trump supporters of what they're doing. But it's a pattern of behavior that we have seen. We saw that with don't shoot, hands up, whatever that thing was. George Floyd, then anything that happened with Antifa. All of these things become these bigger issues, but violence always follows it. That's my core point here is when there are threats. Charlie Kirk got assassinated. There were threats against this guy's life for the same dynamics that went on, that are going on now with ICE and all those things in the past. It's real. These people will kill people. Oh, yeah. And so, ICE is given such a hard time because they're saying, they're trying to protect themselves by wearing masks and unmasking. Gavin Newsom's running around doing this stuff. But at the end of the day, hey, we watched Charlie get shot and killed. We watched Trump almost get killed. Thank God. Only for the grace of God and his anointed being that he is right now, which I believe he is, running this country. But the Democrats are all about violence. I hate to say it, just like package that simply, but they're a violent group.
If I could just piggyback on that, think about it. I believe the stats are now that kids between the ages of, I think, 16 and 30 are 80 times more likely to condone political violence than any other demographic, which is truly astounding. These kids have been conditioned to hear, you're a Nazi, you're a fascist, you're evil, you've now been dehumanized, and now it's a legitimate movement to kill you. Yeah. You're no longer human, you're subhuman, and now you are righteous to kill somebody you don't agree with. We've watched the conditioning of our children, we've watched the conditioning of the left, and we've watched the conditioning, Damon, how many times we said, we see it in the doctors, the lawyers, the
teachers, the
teachers,
professors,
all the people who went through big academia, and they've all been brainwashed at such a level. And as Vin is saying, we've seen the dehumanization of your fellow American, and the left has made it okay. And I think
here's an extreme example, but it's happening right now in Nigeria, and we've seen it happen with some of these extreme Muslims around the world. They feel it's okay to kill Christians. Right? It's happening in Nigeria now in big numbers, and Sudan and all these places. Just think of the mentality. What does it take for a society to get to that dehumanization of people? And we see that with Hamas and what happens in Palestine, where they cheer, the murders of Israelis. So we're seeing an extreme example of what we're seeing the left do right here in our own country. Like, we know what the next step is. That's the stuff I fear. That's what I get scared about. And that's why we need a guy like Donald Trump to go in and just take a flamethrower to these folks.
Yeah, and that's why Charlie Kirk was so dangerous to them. Yes. Because he was winning on their field, right? Not because winning, where do the terrorists get the brand new terrorists? They raise them as kids, right? Sure. You see little kids running guns, weapons, vests, doing whatnot. Right? Yeah. And that's what they're brought up into. So what do you think they're going to turn into? They're not going to turn into Shakespeare, right? They're going to turn into the next wave of terrorists.
Right. Charlie wasn't just winning on that field. It became his field.
Yeah.
He would go into these places, these hostile environments, and it would be 10-1 against him. Within 2 years, 3 years, it's 10-1 for him. He was winning hearts and minds, converting because he was a once-in-a-generation guy.
He was a special guy. They had to eliminate him.
And you would see the people line up, and these, he would always have the ones that wanted to challenge him get up there first, give him the microphone. But he had a crowd of people that supported him, waiting for him to come back and explain to that person why they're wrong.
And all his core values were American values.
Yeah.
And the only way they got to knock him down was by cut a sound clip, and destroy his full context and nuanced statement because they would give you one piece of a DEI statement to make him out to be a bad guy. And that's how they killed him too.
A lot of people fell
those
for that.
endless clips saying he's a fascist, he's a racist, he's a he's a homophobe, he's an Islamophobe.
Try arguing with people about
he's
that.
A blah,
It's
blah,
unbelievable.
blah phobe.
Yeah,
Right? You argue with people because they bought that soundbite. They took it to DEI and they right away, he's racist. I had a lot of arguments with friends on that aren't really friends so much anymore, you know?
And